it's time to sit back and relax with your favorite drink. And listen. Werewolves are assholes, but vampires are worse. So, as you can imagine, at this point things weren't looking too hot for us. We had little Missy locked up with some kind of supernatural furniture next to Mark in my garage. One of our werewolves is, not toilet-ridden. We have a literal hostage situation. Our seasoned vampire hunter was nowhere to be found. And I'll definitely be having a talk with that secret-keeping bitch about that when I see her again. And yeah, we have the vampires. I was definitely in way over my head. I mean, I ain't gonna leave the little hoodlums to fend for themselves, but you can bet your ass I'll never have to wash a dish or dust a shelf for the rest of my life after this. Oh, and for the people asking about our cannibalistic princess and her name, well, she said something about it when she asked me to write this part. She said she wants to do something like in that Brad Pitt movie where the guy telling the story never mentions their name. That girl sure likes her movies, bless her heart. So at this point, we were still all huddled in the living room trying to figure out what we were going to do next, making our best effort to talk over the dual barrage of obscenity spilling out from the garage. Finally, we agreed to close the door for a minute and let them tucker themselves out. Okay, Wolf Boy, ideas, I said once I closed the door and walked back into the room with everyone else. We might be screwed, Milo says in response. That was followed by a mild uproar from everyone in attendance. Likely not what they wanted to hear from the only one in the room even half familiar with all this nonsense. I managed to get everyone quieted down about the same time that Jasmine started to pick up another heavy object to bash Milo with again. All right, everyone just calm the hell down, I hollered over the ruckus. Listen, Sugar, you gotta chill it. It ain't that boy's fault he's simple, I said to Jasmine while I took the marble elephant statue out of her hands. Oh, this was expensive. Try to go for something cheap next time. About that time, Trey spoke up. Okay, so we have to do something. We damn sure can't leave her in there like that, he said, pointing towards the garage where some muffled commotion could still be heard. And what the hell is it we're supposed to do? Joanna commented back. Trey started to answer, but Dex beat him to it. Whatever we can, he shouted. Not to mention that guy's still in there with plugs missing from him all over the place. And I don't know about you, but if I have to clean up one more pile of Mark shit, him or me, well, one's gonna die. About this time the sun was already up, and about mid-argument we all stopped and turned when we heard the stairs creak as Tegan came down. What is all this noise and screams? She said in that darling broken English of hers. She looked an absolute mess. Poor girl looked like death eating a cracker. Oh, sweetie, you don't need to worry about all that right now, I said about the same time Milo said, What are you doing down here? You should go rest some more. I'll come up and tell you everything in a little... But she cut him off. No, you will tell me now, she demanded. Somebody dropped the peas. Beans, Dex said. It's, spill the beans. What? Tegan asked. Who has spilled beans? No, I was just... The expression is to spill the beans, he tried to explain. Why did you spill beans? Have you cleaned them? Why would you leave such a mess? She scolded. You, go, clean these beans. Milo was off in a corner with his face buried in his palms in embarrassment. Dex made his way into the kitchen long enough to fake clean imaginary beans and return to the living room with everyone else. Okay, fuck all of you for not helping me out with that, he said. Then we got Tegan up to speed on everything that had happened since she went upstairs, down to the little metal thing that just saved all our asses. As you might imagine, she was a tad distraught. What? You have her locked up like some kind of animal? She screamed before turning to make for the garage. No, Milo stopped her. We're trying to let her wear herself out for a while to see if that calms her down a little. No, I must go help her. She stopped as a long, low growl roared across the room from Tegan's stomach. Oh no, she groaned before grabbing her gut and dashing up the stairs like lightning. A few seconds later, we all heard the bathroom door slam shut. We all turned to look at Milo again. Werewolf stuff, he said quietly, suddenly forcing us to recall the phrase that near traumatized us all about a week ago. Had to poop out my werewolf arm. Yeah, what goes up must come down. What goes in must come out, he explained in his own kind of way. It's hard on the body to do what she did. Didn't have enough food stored for mass, so when she changed, it took till there wasn't anything left to take. Now her body's trying to get rid of everything that isn't mostly human, which doesn't leave her with much. That's why she's so bad off right now. Oh, the poor girl, Leslie murmured softly. She's made it through the worst of it, Milo reassured her. So does the, out part get worse too when you change all the way? Dex asked. That's disgusting, Joanna exclaimed. Why would you ask that? And, as you can all imagine, Joanna's revulsion at the question only served to excite Milo's enthusiasm to answer. Define worse, Milo said with a grin. What do you mean? Dex questioned. Well, I mean worse for you, the one doing it, or whoever has to deal with the aftermath. He smiled even bigger in Joanna's direction, causing her to wince. When we're fully transformed, we're also in a better shape when we change back. But what comes out, well, you guys ever seen Jurassic Park? It took us a second before we collectively groaned. Oh my God. I mean, now Tegan, she's a proper lady about it. Usually brings some toilet paper and finds her a secluded spot away from civilization and innocent human beings and takes care of it there, he went on. And what do you do? To ask a question I don't really think I want answered, Trey said. Well, you see, I like to find the nearest construction site and just unleash hell on some poor, unsuspecting porter John. Then I like to hide and wait around for the first person to open up the door. One guy actually started crying. It was great, Milo bragged. And there we were, in the middle of my house, having an in-depth conversation about werewolf shit. Somebody stop the merry-go-round, 'cause I want off. Nobody went back to sleep. We all stayed up and discussed what we were going to do, to little success. After a while, me, Trey, and Milo went to the kitchen to start making some food for the recovering Tegan upstairs, who Leslie, Dex, Jasmine, and Joanna were with. We'd finish making something, and one of them would come down long enough to snatch it up and take it to her. After a while, Trey and Milo got to chatting. So, how'd you and her meet? Milo asked Trey, inquiring about the rabid shithead on lockdown in the garage. Met in college, he answered. Same economics class. Actually, the first conversation we had was her asking me out. Milo slammed his hand down hard on the table. What? He yelled. Yeah, we even went on a couple of dates way back, Trey laughed. Once we even held hands. You dated her? Milo asked, pointing towards the garage. Well, yeah, I mean, she's not so bad all the time, and she's cute and, well, I might stab you in your sleep kind of way, Trey replied. Oh my God, Milo said, leaning back in his chair to look around the corner. Oh, you're right, she's, cute. What the hell? But, well, I thought she was, Milo started. A lesbian? I interrupted. Well, I get how you might think that. She does mostly bat for the away team, but I catch her looking at the fellas every now and then. I try not to label them kinds of things. That way nobody feels pressure to stay inside a box. Let people hump whoever they want. That's what I say. But, you let people call you Gay Jake, Milo says. Well, that's 'cause I'm queer as a $3 bill, sweetie. Don't want nothing to do with any vagina. Well, they creep me right out. They look like them face things from the Alien movie. You ever make eye contact with one? Oof, looks like something's going to try and jump out and get you, I explain, likely a little more vividly than entirely necessary. Okay, Milo says slowly, somewhat cringing. What about the others? How'd they all meet? Well, Joanna's kind of new to all this. I met her at the mall where she worked, and we'd only been dating for a week before we met you, Trey answered. Yeah, and Dex was already living here when I brought Shithead in, I added. Wait, Dex lived here too? Why? Milo asked. Well, that boy had his problems too. Had a lot of trouble kids through here over the years. Dex had him a fondness for opioids, which led him to a fondness for, heroin. So he ended up here in a similar way. He was cleaned up and getting back on his feet about the time that little hellion came, I said. Then what? Milo asked, scooting forward in his seat. Oh, she bullied the piss out of the poor boy, I told him. But that boy stayed and took it all and never complained, not even the first time. And I'd tell him, I'd say, why'd you let her do that? He'd just smile and say that he could see how much pent-up anger she had, and that she was dealing with it the only way she knew how. Bless that boy's heart. He hung in there till the bitter end, to where one day, she just snapped, and all the guilt of every time she smack him or push him or call him some horrible name or break something of his lit her all at once. And then what? Milo asked, almost standing up off his chair. She did something I hadn't ever seen her do up to that point. She apologized. Hell, after that you'd hardly see them apart, really. I don't think she'd have recovered as well if he wasn't around like he was. I think they've been best friends ever since then, I explained. I've been catching him peeking into the garage on his way back upstairs every time he comes down to get Tegan's food. After that conversation, I catch Milo and Dex making their way from the kitchen to the garage to Tegan's room side by side. I mean, most of the time it was just long enough to let a pressure wave of obscenities burst through the opening, but they were making the effort just the same. Now, let me tell y'all, this next part just about broke my little heart. Later that night, I went to poke my head in the garage real quick, and oh my goodness, I found Milo and Dex both sitting on the cold concrete floor. Dex was out like a light, lined up against the wall, but Milo had brought a laptop downstairs and had it open, playing her favorite movies for her. Every now and then he'd catch Mark trying to watch, so he'd pick up something random off the floor and throw it at him, saying, "No, you don't get to watch," which would cause our predatory princess to crack an evil little giggle each time. Now, don't get me wrong, I still wasn't going to get in the range of her chompers, but this was the calmest she'd been so far. I stuck my head in just a little and asked Milo if he needed anything. Tegan passed out from the itis a while ago, so I figured I'd hang out down here with Jaws and the fecal phantom over there and keep her company, he answered. Hey, is that her laptop? I asked. How'd you get into that? She keeps it locked like Fort Knox. Well, at first she said she'd open it for me. But when I tried to hand it to her, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. He turned to show me a mouth-sized section of his right sleeve missing with what was apparently dried blood around the edges. So I had to figure it out myself. It wasn't too hard. Turns out it was Bobby's idiots. All one word. Boy, you gotta tell me. You an idiot or a genius? I gotta know. I finally broke down and asked him what we were all thinking. Exactly, he answered with a wink and turned back to the screen. That boy makes me tired, I swear to God. He's lucky he's cute. We all gathered back up in the kitchen later the next day to resume our figuring. Like you might expect, we didn't get too awful far at all. That is, not until Tegan finally made her way downstairs in relatively better condition. And that's because when he saw her, Tex went to say hi and waved to her, which made him drop that gun-shaped knife thing of his, which then thunked, tip first, right into my hardwood floor. Damn it, boy. Y'all are steady fucking my whole house up, I barked. But about that time Milo got this strange look on his face. Hey, Teague. Hey, he yelled. Tegan. That guy who made these things, he said, yanking the cutlery from my hardwood floor. Maybe he knows something about what we can do to help her. Holy shit, sounded from over near the fridge where Jasmine had been pilfering around for food. Oh God, she groaned, holding her head as she slowly shuffled over to the table. Oh, honey, your poor head, are you all right? I tried to ask, but she just held a finger up at me. She mumbled, trying to hold still as much as possible until she was able to take a deep breath and talk again. Do you think that would work? She asked Milo. It's worth a shot. We should at least try. Teague, do you have any contact info from him or anything? What was his name? He said. No, I am sorry, but we did not get it before we leave, she said. But I am thinking his name was Hephaestus. He says to call him Hep also. Well, to spare you some boring dialogue, in about 30 seconds that idiot savant had found him on fucking Facebook. Turns out he's pretty easy to get in touch with through his day job not making vampire fighting equipment. Well, about another 30 seconds later, we all gathered around the phone, set to speaker as it rang. The other end clicked, and someone on the other side answered. Hello, if this is the IRS, I already told you to suck my ass. That is the strange Tony person? Tegan whispered. Yeah, hi. I think I'll take a rain check on the ass sucking, Milo replied, causing everyone else to chuckle. Any chance we get to chat with Hep real quick? Oh, shit. Right, the Tony man said. Give me a second. We then heard him say something with the phone away from his face that sounded like, Here, run this out to him. Followed by the familiar sound of metal tinking and the sound of some kind of power tool getting louder in the distance. Hello, you got Hep? Another voice answered. Yeah, hello, Milo said loudly. Hi, yeah, my friend and my wife just left your place a few days ago, remember? Wait, you two are married? Leslie shrieked. Really? Milo and Tegan both held up their left hands, showing off a small black band tattooed around both of their ring fingers that apparently none of us had noticed before. Oh, that's adorable, Jasmine and Leslie both cooed in unison, causing Joanna to groan in disgust. Yeah, we got married in Romania, in Vlad's castle. It was the last thing I used my inheritance money on other than the plane tickets back here, he said with a big, proud grin. That is just beautiful, the voice in the phone spoke up, causing us all to jump a little. Yeah, still here, guys, the man said. Oh, right, Milo said back into the phone. So we kind of have a situation. Your body went psycho and tried to eat someone, the voice interjected. Yeah, how'd you know? Milo asked him. I had a hunch that things might go tits up with your girl in the garage over there. Guess my little friend was helpful after all, the man said, making us all lean back away from the phone. How do you know she's in the garage? Milo said, joining the rest of us in looking around the room suspiciously. Don't worry about it, the man said, increasing our worry. Now, what do you need from me? Well, Milo answered, we were hoping you'd know how to fix her or something. I do not. But, he continued, I think if there is a way, I know the people who would know. I'm going to give you their number. Just tell them Hephaestus told you to call. That should get them talking. Then he gave us the number to call, wished us luck, and hung up. We didn't waste a second dialing the new number. We set the phone back down on the table and circled around again, listening for the ring. Click. Worst hotel, front desk. Who the fuck is this? A voice shouted through the speaker. We all looked around at each other, all seemingly collectively thinking that the art of answering the phone was really taking a dive. Yeah, my name's Milo, and I was told to call by Hephaestus. Who the fuck is this? Milo shouted back. Oh, god damn it. I hate taking these. Oh, jeez, what a day. Hello, my name is Leslie. How can I help you today? The man says. Oh my god, my name's Leslie too. Leslie chirped up excitedly. Oh, like OMG. Do you totally want to be BFFs and have sleepovers and talk all about the cute boys on the football team and do each other's nails and stuff? The man on the phone said in the most heavily condescending tone I think any of us had ever heard. Asshole, Leslie whispered to herself before walking away from the table. What the hell do you people want? The man asked. Our friend is a half-vampire werewolf thing. Well, I think, and, she's trying to eat us. Milo says into the phone. We need to know how to fix her. Then, Auric has some infused weapon to the head or to the heart or to fix her, the man replies, sending Jasmine into a fit. No, can do, buddy. We're going to need to take her alive, Milo said once we got Jasmine settled back down. Ugh, okay. God. You said she's trying to eat people, yeah? He asks. Yeah, that's right. She bit a chunk out of our out of Mark. Ate his finger too, Milo answered. Jesus. Have any of you ever watched a vampire movie? What do vampires need? The man asked in a condescending tone again. Blood? Milo half answers back. Yes, blood. Dumbass. And what happens when they don't get what they need for a while? They flip the fuck out. So, how about... Oh, and hear me out here. You get her some goddamn blood. The man yells at us. So, what, we just go in there and give her some blood? Dex asks. Oh, that's easy enough. No, you jackass. The man barks at him. Not unless you want her to bite a chunk out of your stupid neck. Okay, look, you idiots obviously can't be trusted to think this through yourself, so here it is. Right now you need to find a way to slide her a big bucket of fresh and completely human blood. If she's only half vampire, however the fuck that happened, then she'll probably only eat a small amount every now and then. Regular food should work most of the time. Pure vampires get their nutrition from liquefying the entire body and sucking that up. If she doesn't have that osteal dentitions you see on regular ones, and the tongue isn't partially bifurcated, then, she's probably going to get most of her nutrition from regular sources. And once she's calmed down, you'll be able to donate to her directly, but unless you want her to tear you a new asshole, right now you need to find some way to get her the blood while she's all bitey and shit. It's just how it is now. You don't fix werewolf, and you don't fix vampire. Deal with it. God, I feel like I'm just here to explain shit to people all the goddamn time. And with that, the guy hung up, leaving us all looking at the blank screen in silence. After about 30 seconds of gazing into the touchscreen void, Jasmine finally broke the quiet. I, guess we need human blood, she said. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this story today. Really means a lot to me and to the author of the story, of course. Well, if you want to know more about me, I'm pretty much everywhere on social media. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can download my music on SoundCloud. I've got a Patreon if you feel like throwing me $1 or $2. Very much appreciated. And of course, on Reddit, I have a place where you can leave stories if you want me to read one that you've written. Well, hoping to see you all again very soon. Till then, sweet dreams. Bye-bye.